better do a video. Brought all the equipment.
Better mind your child. Brought all that equipment too.
So, fáilte Arash go Daintor Boshdí, which is the rainmaker. We're in Black Sod on the, I've forgotten the name now, something Peninsula. I was reading it over there anyway. But basically, if you look up Belmullet in County Mayo and then look for Black Sod, you'll see where we are. It's Saturday afternoon, and it's the what's today's date? The 19th of February 2022, and it's 15:22, and we've come down here to just have a bit of a look around and do something a little bit different. We've never been here before, and we're just trying to decide if we're going to park here. So we're on a bit of we're in a harbour, we're on a pier, and we're just having some coffee, and we're going to decide what we're going to do then in a while. We're going to have a little bit of an explore, and then tomorrow the plan is to stay wild camp tonight here in this area, and then tomorrow we're going to go into Belmullet and stay in a hotel. And that's the extent of it. There's a few things we want to see. There's a couple of sites that we want to see here in the island. So just to give people a bit of an update on things with regards to the van, a bit of a segue into the van thing really, but the I'm not going to do a 6-year review because the van is 6 years old now, but I'm fed up of complaining about it, so I'm not going to bother doing a review. It's the exact same as it was last year and the year before, the same kind of thing, except we have had a few issues with the van. So before Christmas I had to get it serviced, and then I got it serviced, got the starter battery replaced, and there was something else they did. Oh, they repaired, there was a glow plug went in the engine. So all in all, that was around €1,200, wasn't it? And then we topped up the AdBlue during the video when we went to Greystones on Christmas Eve, and I noticed there was an issue, and then they had the van for a couple of weeks, was it?
Yeah.
And they had to replace the AdBlue tank because the AdBlue system couldn't detect the quality of the AdBlue, which I've used umpteen times, and which I've used in my car at home, which is also a VW.
Gareth doesn't want you to do a review, Daddy.
You can hear me talking.
He's having his opinion.
And he sums it up nicely though. So the thing then is the van had to go back, they had to repair that, and then to get that done was €1,300, and they allowed, I think, was it €700 off the price, €500 off the price of the tank. So that was another, so there you go, that was expensive, and we did complain to them about this. There was no goodwill this time from VW because the van is 6 years old now, so they're saying no chance of goodwill. And we did complain to them via email, and the guy who sold us the van basically said that, you know, I think his point was that, look, you know, things will go wrong in the van is 6 years old, it is a house on wheels and stuff like that, but our point back to them is that, look, all the faults with the van so far have been due to quality issues with the van, and that's just the main problem. The quality of things, everything that has had to be fixed to the van is because of a quality issue with the van as we bought it, not due to wear and tear. Will you shut him up, will you? So so that would be our retort back to them, saying that everything that's had to be fixed is because of how it came out of the factory from VW. And after 6 years, the van has only done 40,000 kilometres, and I mind it. So it's definitely a quality issue. Now, there's a couple of channels that we watched, a couple of new channels that YouTube is promoting. California Time and Fun with the Micklins, I think it's called. I apologise if I've gotten that wrong. But I think that's what it is. California Time and Fun with the Micklins. Very good. They have T6.1s. Good videos. The California Time is a bit like myself in that he does a lot of, you know, things about the van kind of types of videos. And but the issues they've had with the van, with their brand new 6.1s, have been phenomenal. And the Michelins made me laugh because the chap in that was saying like bingo, the light bingo with the thing, and we would joke about that, isn't it? That every time we went out, the light, some kind of light comes on in the van to tell us there's some kind of issue. So that's the only moaning I'm going to do about it. I'm going to give up complaining about the van from now on. There's not going to be any more moans because there's just no point. And that's the end of the 6-year review. So from here on in, we'll get down to basically doing what we're supposed to do with the van, and that's travelling around and sleeping in it and everything, because obviously COVID is coming to an end, and I say that in inverted commas. COVID is kind of coming to an end. So we will be in a situation that we can start travelling and so on. Have you anything to add, V?
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Grant. Thanks, Garrett.
Is that finished, Dad?
So we'll see you soon.
Ciao.
Bye. Garrett, I'm trying to make a video. Would you be queuing us, please? Be queuing.
Sing.
So we're in so this is us travelling light, as you can see in the boot. The boot is full, and where am I?
What Daddy doing?
We've set up so you can't really see with the where we are. No, can you see? If I
Don't let that go.
okay, so there you go. Ooh, let me see. So what am I trying to do? There you go. So we're on some kind of mad pier. We are.
Oh, bullet, make music. Oh, maybe not actually because of the video. Does it not squeak or something?
I don't think that's copyright, that music, is it?
I doubt it.
So we've set up, and the harbour's right there. So the way we operate is we kind of stay like this for a few hours and kind of see how we get on. It is quite windy. The van is shaking already, isn't it?
We're gonna get wrapped to sleep.
There is a yellow weather warning alert. That is so hard to say.
Yellow weather warning. Said it 10 times fast.
And so we're just kind of playing it by ear here. I suppose if it gets too bad later, we might have to move, but I don't think we will. You know, so. So you do the vacuuming the window. Show people the vacuuming.
It's gonna be loud, Dad.
It's good, isn't it?
It's good for 10 seconds until it steams up again.
Oh, that's what she said. Fair enough. We'll report in. The plan was to go and see loads of sites and everything like that, but that's clearly not going to happen now, is it? Is it? We're stuck in the van again.
Yeah.
We'll report in later. We'll report in later when we're having something to eat. But we don't mind because
Tonight.
what?
What will cook tonight?
I'd say maybe Garrett, or maybe we could do the usual random cook we usually do.
The
Hello.
Vanessa's going to make chicken. Chicken what?
Fajitas.
Chicken fajitas. So we'll have them later. Right. So say slán. We'll come back to you when Garrett's asleep and it's quiet.
Because the cap's not in.
Sometimes I'm a bit ticked, aren't I? Huh? Garrett, take it easy there. Garrett, take it easy. There you go. That's kind of that's where we're staying.
Don't hit the baby in the head.
It's too wet. Too wet out. Garrett.
I think he stopped recording.
Did he?
Or he changed the settings.
He's hit something. Look, he's done something with the focus. What's he done to the focus?
He just went like that with his hand.
What have you done to the focus?
He wiped down the whole thing.
Ah, Garrett, I'm gonna kill you. I'm going to kill you. Right. This is where we were parked earlier. We were parked just down here, and a guy pulled up in a car next to us, and he said to us, "Are you staying for the night?" And I said to him I wasn't sure. I said I don't know. And he was like, I wouldn't recommend it. He said the tide can come in. He said it's quite a high tide tonight, and the tide can top the wall there. So that's where we were parked here. And he was saying, and we moved over there to the other side of the harbour where it's nice and sheltered. But we can see from the van, we can see that the water is topping. We can see that the water is coming over the wall already. It's very choppy there. Very choppy. You know, quite windy out here now, quite exposed. So I think it's definitely windier here. So we're kind of parked in that general direction. You can see there's a lighthouse. I think you can see the lighthouse. Yeah, lighthouse there. So the water is coming right up. So I was down here earlier and I was looking over the wall to see how high the water might come up, but I didn't think it'd be. And then these fishermen came along and they said to us they were going to tell us to move as well. Actually, they said that things get washed away off the pier all the time, so there's a lesson in it for us. That's what I was saying to Vanessa, probably being a bit foolhardy. You know, the thing to check is what they're saying is to check the tides. It's not so much the wind or anything like that, although that's a combination of the fact, but they're saying that it's the tides is an issue, you know, to watch the tides. So I'm going to go up and have a look over the wall and then see. But yeah, pretty dangerous stuff. Let's have a look. Aye. See? Well, you can't really see, but it's... Yeah, right. That's enough of that. See how rough it is. That's the harbour. That's where we were, so obviously the locals know the area. Right, back to the man. It's actually not, it's recording, but I have to ISO really. It's about how bright it is really. Actually, yeah, just about see it. I don't think you'll be able to see me. Because it's so dark. It's all real grainy. It's like bad TV. So, Garrett is asleep. He's fast asleep. You can't see him, but he's asleep over there somewhere. And that's our new fan lights. It also has a disco function. Where are the lights? Where's the remote? Disco function. So we're all parked up now, and we've had our dinner, and this is our new spot because we had to move. But this is a much better spot. It's much more sheltered. So, as I always say, this is the bit I love. I love when we're in the van and it's all cozy like this. The only difference this time round is because we have Garrett. We can't make too much noise. So that's it now. We're going to... I'm having a Guinness. We're going to... Did you give me the remote, did you? I don't think I can reach. Where's the disco function? I'll show you. If Garrett wasn't here and had been so fussy, we'd be having a disco now. So, with all my complaining and giving out about the van, this is the one thing that it is really, really good for us now, right, Christian?
Yeah.
Party. Psst. So, we're gonna go to sleep. And we'll start the trip tomorrow. Listen, what?
They've all gotten out of sync.
I know.
No, 2 of them have gotten so out of sync they're in sync.
Right. Better go. See you all tomorrow. Yeah.
Jigsaw.
What?
We said yeah at the same time.
Did we?
Yeah.
Oh, he's clearly gone by the rails.
Did we?
The 2 is having
Yeah.
a yak.
Yeah, you're trying to do that. That smells like
So,
It's Mayo.
salads. Sweets.
there's some beast next door to us, isn't it? So, beside the white box is where we were camping. Where we were planning on camping. Although I was very sceptical about it. That's why I was like, let's see how this goes. But it's really gotten very stormy, and I wasn't expecting it to be so stormy, were you?
Yeah, because I watched the news.
I wasn't expecting it to be that stormy. I really wasn't.
Dad, show the people.
Like
Where
the
the lamp
the
is.
tide
I'm
hasn't
gonna
gone
go
out
out
at all.
Huh?
The tide hasn't gone out at all night.
It has to
The
go.
big one came up again. It's gone now.
Has to go.
Dad, show the people.
Well, it hasn't gone out since it came in yesterday evening.
Put your feet these there.
I can't wait for feeding the child. A bit of spray went up over the lamppost.
Yeah, well, that's what it was doing yesterday.
Yesterday evening, no, it wasn't as bad.
Yeah, and spray is going up all over the lamppost and everything, up to the height of them and stuff.
I think we would have been alright. It's just it was so windy.
No, Jay. It's coming up and over the wall exactly in the spot where we were.
Yeah.
Yeah, we wouldn't have been alright. Stop now.
I think it would have been fine.
Well, then you should have went over instead over
You're
there.
all panicking for nothing.
Garrett said no.
Did he?
He said, "Don't be a dingus, Daddy."
There's a robin.
Yeah, rockin' robin. Tweet.
It's copyrighted. Good song. What do you know?
Really annoying when you can't say anything.
So, I'll tell people the story about the random guy, Colin, will I? So when we parked up, we were the only people who had parked here. And basically what happened was a guy pulled up in the car next to us and said, "You might want to move." So he recommended that we park over here, so we did. And he was right as well, wasn't it? It's definitely more sheltered.
Yeah.
And we were able to back the van into the prevailing wind in that, you know, because of the angle, the way the roof angles down. And because we're a little bit lower and there's all trees behind us, we have more shelter. But we're on this kind of hardcore surface, but it's soaking wet. But we parked up, and then the van next door pulled in. And then let's say half an hour later, was it? A guy came to the van, and we thought maybe he was going to say something.
Wow, look at that wave.
Were we here or something? Or why were we here? But he didn't. He just said that he was camping in
Look at that wave rolling in.
I can't because I'd have to adjust the camera. He was camping in a tent, and you'd have to be pretty hardcore to camp in a tent in that weather. So, but he just started saying, "Did we know anywhere where?
It's still going.
Did we know anywhere where?
It's still going. Sorry.
Did you know anywhere where he would, where we'd recommend?" And we were saying we didn't. But just beside us, there's grass and stuff. So then that was it then. He said, "Grand, yeah, no problem." So we went off, and then I went off around getting a bit of a video that I did last night. And then when I came back, as I was leaving, I could see him struggling with the tent. The tent was blowing in the wind. And, but I thought he knew what he was doing, because obviously if he's out camping in this kind of weather, you just assume that somebody knows what they're doing. And I went off and I was looking around. I was only gone for about 10 minutes, wasn't I? That's all really, about 10 minutes I'd say. And then when I came back, I could see him sitting on the ground. Now, the place is saturated and there's big pools of water and all, and he was just sitting there. So I got my torch and I went over to him to see if he needed a hand, because maybe he couldn't pitch the tent one man in that wind. But then I quickly realised that he didn't know what he was doing. And he was wearing jeans and work boots, and it was heartbreakingly sad. It was very sad, really, because he was like wasn't equipped for what he was doing, and he couldn't pitch the tent. He couldn't get it up. That's what she said. And he was telling me that the tent was 30 years old and he hadn't pitched it before. And so I said to him, look, I had a torch and I was showing him the ground, and I said, even if you pitch your tent, because the ground is so waterlogged, it's going to fill with water, so it's not a suitable spot. So there is a pub in the village that opens at 4 o'clock, and there's a B&B beside it. So I said to him to go to the pub and maybe ask someone down there for advice. And then he was like, yeah, grand. But it was heartbreaking, because on the ground he had like a packet of, Irish people know them, the brand Jacob's cream crackers. It's a distinctive orange packaging. And he had a rucksack, but he didn't seem fully with it. No, he didn't seem like he was drugged or anything like that. He just seemed a little odd or something. And then he did leave, in fairness, he did go. But he must have been out there an hour or so trying to pitch that tent, was he?
More.
And I till now, I still feel disturbed about it. You know, I wonder what happened to him, because if you're out that night like that, it was seriously
no
windy.
car or anything. He just seemed to appear from somewhere.
Yeah.
How did he get here?
Don't know. I didn't ask. But the best thing for him was to go and get accommodation.
Yeah, because he was soaked to the skin as well.
I said that to him. I said, look, you're going to have to find somewhere to stay, because, you know, very heartbreaking. Now the question would be, would we let him stay in the van? And there wouldn't be enough room, because he was a big guy. Like, he was a big guy. He was bigger than me, wasn't he? I think he was. Big, stocky fella, like taller than me. There wouldn't be any room. But also, someone like that, you'd have to wonder what his mental state was and so on, and you couldn't risk having someone like that around the van or in the van with you. But even if he was small and so on and so forth, you'd kind of wonder, you know. It's just that someone in that situation, you're like, oh, you know. So I don't know. But very odd and unexpected. Very odd. So anyway, the plan for today is, well, I don't know what we're going to do. We're supposed to go and see this. Well, there's only one thing I want to really go and see, and I don't know if I'm going to get out to see it, because it's so windy and so wet. But we'll do what we usually do. We'll just kind of make it up as we go along, and then we'll go to the hotel.
Yeah.
So check in the hotel for 3, and that's what we're going to do. Stay in the hotel, have a bit of dinner. There's a seafood restaurant in it. Well, you know, they do other stuff. I like seafood. So Sinead Gadirach. That's it.
Let's have a coffee.
We're going to have a bit of breakfast now, and we'll get on with it.
Ciao, Bella.
Bye bye.
Gary, give a wave.
That is the Black Sod place. That's the rescue helicopters land there. There's a bit of a tragic story about here. A rescue helicopter went out to provide air cover for another helicopter that was out, and on the way back, their sat-nav map hadn't this a hill that was in it, or a small island, mountainous small island, that crashed into it. And I don't think it was too far from here, actually. I'm not sure exactly where it was, but it's associated with this place, Black Sod. You know, that's it there. That's a little monument to them there, their memory. You know, monument to them. Katrina Lucas, Mark Duffy, Dara Fitzpatrick, Kieran Smith, all owned, all lost. Yeah, it's very sad, very tragic story about what happened to them. Terrible. All because of a sat nav. So, whoa. I can only imagine what that must have been like last night. Beautiful. You can hear the rocks being pulled around. Marked over there. This is where we're going to Nice. very luster, isn't it?
Look at the parallels.
Yeah. Look at the sea, that's beautiful.
Waves.
That is amazing, isn't it? Amazing. I can't wait for this. Is it over there? Holy moly! Christ. Whoa. Jeez, I'm getting blown all over the place. Woo. My God, that's just unbelievable.
Is it like the one in the petrol station that where they flicker like 50 times a second or something?
Yeah. Well, all electricity. No, you can thank Tesla for that.
Why?
Huh?
Why? What do they do with that?
Because you see, it's alternating current. So what happens is the power goes on and off.
The gas crises and
Yeah.
crises.
More importantly, you have to get the breakfast into the shot. Very nice.
And get Mummy's veggie breakfast.
Veggie breakfast. Looks much the same.
Does it?
So we're in the Talbot Hotel in Belmullet. What do you think of it, Vic?
It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
It is lovely, isn't it?
Yeah, it's lovely.
So we'd recommend it to anybody.
And everybody.
This is my breakfast, guys.
And again, the thing is, just to remind people, if they're wondering why we're in a hotel with a camper van, the whole idea was that we would mix it up a bit. Here's Christian's breakfast.
Okay then. Here we go. Do you want any tomato ketchup or anything like that? No, all right. There's some on the table if you want it.
Thank you.
Right, okay. No problem at all.
So the thing was that what we would do is we would mix up staying in the van with hotels, because that way Vanessa wouldn't go out of her mind, or Christian, because it was just too harsh the other way. But the only frustrating thing about it is that we finished our payments for the van last year, wasn't it? Or the year before? Was it last year? Last year we finished the van payments. So those payments were around €700 a month. And the whole idea then was we'd be better off by that amount each month, and we'd use that then for mixing up things. But the problem with that is that before Christmas, now I had to service the van, so that was €350, but then, and I would have had to get a new battery, but there was also the repair, and then in January there was another repair.
Is that the stuff you're not going to mind about?
I'm just explaining to people. So that was €1,300. So that's nearly 3 months' payments that we've had to make just to repair issues with the van. So we're kind of back to being,
Broke again.
well, it's just frustrating because that money would have gone on us as opposed to repairing a van that's just coming up in 40,000 kilometres and 6 years old, that's being pampered and minded. you know. And I wouldn't mind so much, except that I have watched those other videos, and especially with the Grand California. I see a lot of people really complaining about those Grand Californias. I think the quality, there's definitely quality issues with VW. But anyway, enough moaning. It's either. Let's eat our breakfast.
Does your work car have more kilometres on it than the
Oh
van?
yeah. Yeah, it's 80,000 on it
And
now.
that's still fine.
80,000. Well, it gets through a bit of oil. Yeah. This is the Clapper Bridge. Saw it on the TV. Never knew it existed. But once I saw it on the TV, I said, needed to come and have a look. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, look.
Fanny would be able to make it?
Huh?
Do you think Fanny would be able to do it?
I'll have to have a look at the far side and see. It looks like you could drive through it alright. You can see there's tractors drive through it. By the looks of things. How deep is it over there?
It's over here.
Huh?
It's fine. Just if you come over here, it gets deep.
Yeah, look, it's quite shallow there, look. That's pretty nifty though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Watch out. It's very,
Really shallow over there.
it's quite deep there, I'd say.
Where?
Quite deep.
Would you?
Looks deep, doesn't it? That's pretty cool. Well, I saw that dog walking around in it. Look, see the way, look, see it's all stonework over there, and they've chopped it all. See, I say since it was on the TV, there's probably more people coming to see it. You know, there's probably more people coming to have a look at it and see what it's like. Yeah, should we give it a go and drive through it and see what happens? Right. What?
You shouting?
Not shouting at anyone. Okay, so that's the end of the trip. We're heading home now. That is the Clapper Bridge. What county did you say we're in?
Mayo.
Mayo. Oh, we're still in Mayo. Okay. So that's the Clapper Bridge behind us, and we're heading home now. The reason, in case you're wondering, I wasn't going to drive through it. I probably could, but I wasn't going to risk it. It's deep enough in parts with all the rain lately because of the storm, and I just didn't want to do thousands and thousands of euros worth of damage. The lads in VW in Dublin would love that. So peace out. What's that hand?
No, Dad, don't do that.
Why? What's that?
It's a gang symbol.
Oh, is it? Well then, goodbye then. Slán. Slán.